Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. I love doing convention reports. I really enjoy meeting and interviewing celebrities, and I've been doing this for a very long time. My first comic book convention was in 1983, the Dallas Fantasy Fair, and I started reporting on conventions beginning in the late 90s with the Comics Buyer's Guide, and I've done tons of articles for different newspapers and magazines and everything, just about comic books, comic cons and everything. And I've interviewed a bunch of celebrities for different publications, and on and on and on. This past weekend wasn't much different, except for one incident I'll tell you about in just a little bit, involving one William Shatner, James T. Kirk from Star Trek, the original series, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, one of my favorite characters of all time, Captain Kirk. As much as I love Star Trek The Next Generation, I am still, or until recently, was Team Kirk as far as Kirk versus Picard goes. Both great characters. But anyway, I was at Fan Expo Dallas with my kids. We were covering Fan Expo, and I will do an article on that in the very near future that I will share with you guys. But for now, I just want to talk a little bit about this incident. So we had gone to Fan Expo first thing in the morning, this past Saturday morning, and was really excited about this show. Now, a lot of guests had canceled because of different things, the ongoing pandemic and whatnot, but there were still a lot of great guests there, like William Shatner, for example. And so my kids and I, we enjoyed Fan Expo Dallas. We looked around the vendor's room, and I'll show you had a few pickups I'll show you at the end of this video here. We met Charles Martinette, aka Mario, the voice in a lot of different Mario games of Mario and other characters. Super great experience, great guy. It was awesome. My son got a great picture for his classroom, and they took several photos of us. And it wasn't just, you're in, you're out. Charles took time to talk to us and made some fun poses and wrote some neat things on the poster Ryan got for his classroom. So really cool. Just had a great day overall. There was a lot of cool swag in the room, a lot of comics, a lot of comic-related paraphernalia, and I could have easily spent several $100s, but I bought, me, I just spent a little bit of money, got some kind of cool stuff, but I'll show you in a minute. But what happened with William Shatner? So it was kind of late afternoon, and we'd planned to go to Six Flags that night, so we were wrapping up our time at the convention, me, my son Ryan, and my daughter Katie. Again, we'd had a great day, and we were just kind of looking around. I wanted to go back through the room very briefly and take a few more photos of the show for a couple of different articles I have in mind. One being my pop culture column in Antique Week. And I just wanted to, make sure I had some really good, clear photos. Very important. And as we were leaving, we went through the celebrity area, and at William Shatner's booth, it was just him and his handler, and then a Comic-Con person between them and the crowd. And at this point, there were only a couple of other people ahead of me to talk to William Shatner, and no one behind me. So it was in just a couple of minutes, I got up to speak with Mr. Shatner. And before that, I asked the convention person, I said, would it be possible just to get a photo of Mr. Shatner, there at his table signing autographs, or just sitting there for an article? And I showed him my press badge. And they said, well, just ask the handler there, you need to check with them. And I sure, absolutely. So I was approached, I said hello to sort of the both of them. They were both sitting down, and the handler there, I said, would it be possible to get a picture of Mr. Shatner for the press, a press photo for an article? And the handler looks over at Mr. Shatner, as we're both doing, Bill Shatner, as his friends call him. And I guess I won't be calling him that. And the handler said, can he take a press photo? And, Shatner's listening to what we're saying, so he quickly butted in with, why don't you write the article first, and then we'll send you a photo. And I'm thinking, well, that's not really how it works, but I get what he's doing. He doesn't want me to take a picture of him. And I've encountered this before. There have been celebrities that either didn't want a photo taken of them at all, they just didn't want their picture made, maybe they wanted to be paid for it, or whatever the case, or they just thought, who is this rando wanting a picture? And like I said, I did show them my press badge, but press badges don't mean quite what they used to. Back in the late 90s, before, blogs and YouTube and all that stuff, when just so many different people could say they were with the press, and that's fine. I'm all for blogging. I'm all for website articles. I'm all for YouTube. Here we are on YouTube. It's all good. I have nothing against anyone getting a press pass to report on something for their venue. That's all great. But press passes used to carry a little more weight. A press pass would not only get you into the venue, but you would also get to get exclusive celebrity interviews. You would get escorted to the front of particular, panels, not because you're special or anything, but so you could record the panel, get some quotes, and get some clear photos, that kind of thing. They had a lot of respect for the press in the old days. But in recent years, with more and more people requesting press badges, press passes mean far less than they used to. A lot of times these days, they only mean entrance to the event. And in this case, Fan Expo Dallas, it meant entrance to the event. And that's fine. Thank you to the organizers for that. I really appreciate that, and that's fine. But I just said all that to say this. To Mr. Shatner and his handler, a press badge really didn't mean much. And so they turned me away. And, like I said, he said, give me send me the article first, and then and then you'll get your photo. That doesn't even make sense. I can't take a picture of him if later I write an article and then send it in. I guess they'll send me a stock photo or something. And my son Ryan later said, well, why don't you just get their contact info? Well, that was a good question, but all I needed, I didn't think of that at the time, but all I needed was a quick picture of him sitting at his table for my article. Well, they didn't want to do that. And so I'm turning to walk away and said, well, that's fine. I said, thank you anyway. And it was all very cordial up to that point, even though I got kind of dissed and turned away. But I heard Mr. Shatner, now he is 90 years old, so I'll give him this. He thought I was out of earshot. He said, he kind of smirked, just kind of said to his handler next to him, he goes, oldest gag in the book, press photo. Oldest gag in the book is what he said. I clearly heard him, and my kids heard him because we were, turning away. We hadn't gotten very far. We had just turned around. And so, like a crazy person, I just sort of acted reflexively. I turned around and said, sir, it is not a gag. It's my job. And he said, so first of all, this is really weird talking back to William Shatner, Captain Kirk. Because as a kid growing up, Captain Kirk was one of my heroes, and he's still one of my favorite characters. I loved Star Trek, the original series. Captain Kirk was, the shoot first, ask question later's cowboy, just the really impulsive but brilliant captain, really brilliant with strategy. Watch The Day of the Dove, and you know what I mean. Great captain, always breaking the prime directive to achieve a greater good because he really cared about people. Just an excellent friend to Spock. Watch Amok Time to see that displayed. Just a great character, and I thought he did a great job acting as Captain Kirk. Yeah, he's a little over the top sometime, and people make fun of his inflection, his voice, and everything. But Captain Kirk's a great character. And I remember when these sets came out. Do you remember how expensive they were? These were complete seasons of the original series. And I remember these were $100 when they came out, a piece, which seems insane now, but back in the day, people were paying $15 a piece for 2 episodes on VHS. So it seemed reasonable at the time. And I remember I bought season 1 when it got down to $80. You guys know me, I always wait for a bargain. When they finally run them on sale for $80, I bought season 1. Season 2, I got for a gift from my mother-in-law, and then season 3, I bought much later down the road when it had gotten a lot cheaper. Big fan of Star Trek, the original series. Love me some Star Trek, love me some Captain Kirk, but not at this moment. I was a little flustered, slightly, because I did snap back a little bit with, it's not a gag, it's my job. But I felt I had the right to say that because that's the truth. And I would have, they could have asked me for a card, or they could have asked me, what publication will this be for, and on and on and on. But he just basically said implied that I was just trying to scam a free photo. why would I want, that would make no sense. Now, if I'm trying to get a selfie or something, okay, but I'm just trying to get a photo of him sitting there at his booth. Now, this article I'm going to write, I'm going to talk about the convention and how difficult he was in this incident, and I'll find a picture and get, print the permission and everything of him sitting at the table. I'll easily find one online. So instead of just being my photo, where I could talk about what a pleasant experience it was meeting Captain Kirk, one of my heroes, I will have to use another photo and accredit that photo and say, this was my disappointing experience of meeting Captain Kirk. Well, after I said, it's not a gag, it's my job, rather directly, he just kind of smiled and said, okay. So I just turned and left. I didn't try to explain my case. I didn't try to say, hey, no, really, I'm with the press and give him a card and everything. I just turned and left. And, my son said, hey, why didn't you just, like I said, get their info, get his contact info as at least a point of debate. They probably wouldn't have given me his contact info because he seemed a little unimpressed with me. But anyway, there is my contentious anecdote here, meeting William Shatner, the great William Shatner, who played the iconic role of Captain Kirk. And I haven't really watched, I remember seeing him in Twilight Zone and some other stuff, but I didn't watch T.J. Hooker and all that stuff, wasn't interested. But I do love me some original series. But moving forward, when I watch Star Trek and when I see William Shatner, and I'll have a little bit different, view, I guess, going forward. I'll still respect him for, helping create an iconic role. Gene Roddenberry and the writers helped create the character too, but just portraying Captain Kirk, amazing. But, it's not going to be the same, obviously. But anyway, there's my experience with Fan Expo Dallas. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you ever had any unpleasant celebrity encounters. I've had many great ones. I've met some just incredible, Grant Gustin, who played the Flash, and on and on and on. And let me show you my pickups real quick too. Danielle Panabaker, that's another excellent experience I had at a convention. She wasn't at this one, but I did pick up this print of her for just $2.50. She plays Killer Frost, Caitlin Snow on the Flash TV series. She's wonderful, she's beautiful. She's very, very nice in person. She seems genuinely interested in what I was saying when we met her. She's awesome. I got this print as well. Now, Billie Piper, who played Rose, the doctor's assistant, in the first couple of seasons of Doctor Who, the newer series. I love Rose. She's amazing. And I was really disappointed that she wasn't at this convention, but I did get this awesome print by Greg Horn. Just check that out. It's beautiful. This was also $2.50 because they had a box of prints for $2 for $5, so couldn't resist those. I got a Super Friends comic book. Grew up loving the Super Friends. And this one is in absolute near mint condition. It looks incredible. It was just $2 at Duncanville Books' booth. And one other thing I picked up, Archie Meets Batman 66, drawn by Dan Parent. Dan Parent is one of my favorite Archie artists. Dan DeCarlo is my favorite all time, but Dan Parent, among the living Archie artists, Dan Parent is one of my favorite. He didn't do that cover, it doesn't appear. It's not his style. But he did the interior and just did a great job as usual. And he signed the cover. Now, when I went up to him, asked him, I said, so is this basically cover price? And he said, yeah. It's an $18 book. He said, yeah, it's 20 bucks, which makes perfect sense. Add on a little tax, it's gonna be almost 20 bucks. And I said, autograph free? And he goes, oh yeah, of course. And so he just signed it on the cover. Typically what I'll do is I'll get people to sign something like maybe on the title page and then make it out to me or something. But he just grabbed it and signed his name on the cover and gave it to me. Whatever, different celebrities or different artists have different ways they do things. And he was very nice and he was appreciative. I told him I really enjoyed his work and he appreciated that. And he was cool about that. All right, guys, again, let me know in the comments if you've ever had any unpleasant celebrity encounters. Mine with William Shatner was unpleasant just because he sort of accused me of being, just trying to scam photos, which is, I guess that's where we are, and that's kind of lame. It's unfortunate. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button, that like button, and all those great buttons. We will talk to you in another video. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.